Miami head coach Glenn Box. Coach, year one in the books. What was your biggest takeaway from this season, and maybe some lessons learned that you had as you navigated that first season?
Can't skip steps. That was my biggest thing. The first year we wanted to make sure that we built a strong foundation moving forward. Get a group of kids that that can return, that can help our future kids, and not to mention, uh, to develop them. To get them one step further to where we need them to be. And to me, that was the biggest takeaway from last year, just to continue to position us to be better in the future.
Well, you do return four of your top five scorers from last season. How does maintaining that core allow you to grow with this group, and how much are you going to lean on them this season?
It's all up in the air for us right now. We're trying to figure out who's going to play on this team. This is a new team, new year. Certainly, our kids are significantly better than they were last year, and we are super excited about that. We do hope that they will continue to trend forward here this next month to position themselves to be major contributors for us. But we just simply take it one day at a time around here. Development is key. We need them to continue to improve. But I'm very pleased with what I've seen from them so far, and I'm uber excited for their future here.
You brought in 8 new players in the first month on the job last year. You bring about 7 or 8 new players again this season. What's that like for a head coach, having to build a program from the ground up in terms of navigating the transfer portal, as it is somewhat new, but making sure you're finding the pieces that really fit what you're trying to build?
Well, last year was totally different than this year. Obviously, I took the job late, and so last year we were working hard simply just to accumulate talent in any possible way. What a kid could do really didn't matter. We are numbers wise, we were at a real disadvantage. So we had to do some things as far as just to get players. And we didn't even know how we would play our first year. We were just trying to get talent. This year we had an idea of our weaknesses. We had an idea of what our strengths were. We knew that we needed to become more dynamic in every possible way as we accumulated talent. We needed more kids who were capable of making plays for us. So we had a plan, and I felt like we executed that plan. And I think that I'm going to say this again, I think it's better positioned us for the season.
After summer session and these first early practices, how would you assess where your group is? And ultimately, I know you said you're still trying to figure out who's going to be playing, but the expectations that you have for this team.
Well, first and foremost, we measure things right now on a daily basis, and when I say that, I mean, we try not to get too far ahead of ourselves. Our focus right now is simply to get better. Our expectations are expectations. They're extremely high. Our standards are extremely high. We're about doing things the right way. As far as where we are now, it's night and day to where it was last year. It's a totally different look. It's a totally different team. We are miles ahead of where we were at this point last year, and I'll simply leave that for whoever would like to hear it. We're just different. Things are way different. So. I like where we are.
Kind of in that same breath, as you head into this season, what do you hope the identity of this team becomes?
Discipline. We want to be a disciplined group. We want to be able to play fast. Everyone says it, but I think we have the personnel to play fast this year. I think that we simply want to do things the right way, both on the court and off the court. I think all of that, just saying that alone encompasses so many different things. I want to be the program. I want us to be the program that our university is proud of, and that to me is really, really important. I want our administration to be proud of us as far as the steps that we're making, as we progress into the future. And so I do think that we're taking the necessary steps on a daily basis to be more than competitive, and not just this year, but years to come.
Coach, before I let you go, I do want to ask you about the conference as a whole. When Kent State won last year, there was a lot of talk about whether you would see maybe Toledo or Ball State steal a bid in the NCAA tournament. How would you describe the level of competition and level of play you face on a nightly basis in this conference?
I think it's very good. Last year it was extremely top heavy. Obviously, when you talk about last year's team, Kent State was good. Ball State, Buffalo had a nice run down the stretch. They were sporadic throughout the year as far as being really good. And so I think BG you could throw in there. I do think that, I think that on any given day, any of these teams can beat anybody. No matter how good these teams are, and I think as we move into this year, it looks to me as though these teams have gotten better. As I look at some of the rosters, I think Ball State's probably better. I think Kent State has added, a piece or two that has certainly helped them. Even though they lost a key player, Buffalo's going to continue to get stronger, and so I think the league as a whole will be better than it was last year. But I also think that we're better than we were last year. So I think that things could get pretty interesting. I think BG will continue to improve, but I don't want to shorten anybody. I think the league is good. There's some really good coaches in this league that are going to prepare their teams to have them ready to go on any given night. So it should be exciting.
Yeah, no question. Coach, we appreciate you taking the time. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Joining me now is Miami's Katie Richardson. Katie, thank you so much for taking the time. How was the summer with this group, and how excited are you to get the season going?
The summer was amazing. We have 8 new players, so it's been a lot of getting to know how we're gonna play with each other, and kind of just getting to know each other off the court, building that chemistry. But yeah, the summer was amazing, and we're finally getting it started right now. So.
Well, you mentioned the newcomers, but you do return 4 of your top 5 scorers, including you. How will that help as you try to build the foundation of what this team wants to be?
Yeah, so playing in the MAC, obviously, it's a lot different. It's a very underrated conference, in my opinion. So I just think having the knowledge and skill of already playing in the MAC is going to be very helpful for us. So those 4 returners, you have to think it's starting MAC later in the season is kind of helpful for us, so we can kind of get started and kind of figure out our team as a whole. So once we get to conference, we'll be ready to go.
Year 2 under Coach Glenn Box. What's your relationship been like with him, and what have the conversations been about your role as you head into the season?
Yeah, my relationship with Coach Box is very special. I was one of the returners that stayed with Coach Box. There's only 2 of us. And so I got to meet him on the day of his press conference. Our relationship is very special. We share a lot on and off the court. He brings his family to everything, and he wants to get to know our family as well. But also our conversations about getting ready for the season is he wants me to be a leader on the team. He wants me to kind of use my voice and my actions to kind of lead the team and kind of show what's right and wrong and how we can improve going into the MAC conference.
Coach said last year when it came to just bringing in players, he was looking to actually bring in bodies. And this year he was going out recruiting talent, finding the pieces that really fit. What's most different about this year's team?
We have scores. We have a lot of scores. We have people that can get to the rim. Last year we really just had we had some set shooters, and we had 1 or 2 people that can take it off the bounce. But now we have people that can drive and kick. And so now our shooters are able to set up, and they're able to knock down shots when we need them. So you always need shooters, but you also need people that can penetrate and kick the ball too.
Now that summer's done and you've had some early practices, as you continue to build, what do you hope the identity of this team is this year?
I hope we can play fast. We have the speed, but the speed only goes so far if you don't play fast. So we have the speed, we have the quickness, but we need to be able to push the ball. And I think our best chance to score is in transition. So playing fast.
As you look at this team, what are some of the goals you guys have set for the season?
Honestly, Coach Box, everything he says is just win. So whether that's by 1 point, whether that's by 20. So getting into the MAC conference, for me personally, getting to the tournament, it's very sad to say, but I've never been to the MAC tournament. I wish I could say I have, but my senior year, going out on a strong note and getting to the MAC tournament and kind of showing who we are. Miami's been kind of not on people's radars in the past years, so kind of just showing who we are. And once you get to the MAC tournament, anything can happen. So
yeah, no question. Like we saw last year. All right, Katie, we are going to do some rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit better.
Mhm.
What is your favorite food?
Ooh, salmon from Texas Roadhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite place to go on vacation?
My favorite vacation was Puerto Rico.
Song you can't get out of your head right now.
Ooh. Probably something on TikTok, probably like I don't know, some like Sexy Red song or something.
Yeah,
on
those
TikTok.
always get stuck in your head. TikTok's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah.
Dream job outside of basketball?
I want to own my own practice in speech pathology.
Very cool. Favorite color?
Purple.
Hidden talent?
I don't really have a hidden talent. Me and my dad can both like move our ears without our hands. I don't know if that's
Unbelievably, someone else said that too.
No
So
way.
two of the same hidden talents, ear moving, didn't know that was a thing, but it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely genetic, I think.
I love it. Favorite movie?
Taken.
If I'm visiting campus, what's one place I need to go?
Bagel and deli. For sure.
Outside of Miami, what's the hardest place to play in the MAC?
Ooh. Toledo. Their crowd is crazy. Yeah.
And one word to describe this year's team.
Competitive.
I love it. Katie, thank you so much for taking the time. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.